Stagnation is uncomfortable. It's extremely uncomfortable. It sucks to sit in that. It is very demotivating. The lack of progress makes you feel like shit. There's no movement forwards. You feel stuck in life. You feel like you're never gonna get what you want because right now nothing is changing. You're trying and you want it badly, but nothing is changing. And maybe you're not really trying. And maybe, that's neither here nor there. The problem is so many people, they let the pressure of that stagnation just force them into just distracting themselves through substances, social media, relationships, anything to just shut off their actual thoughts and distract themselves, shut off, not think about how truly unhappy they are. And the problem is that doesn't change your life circumstance whatsoever. It is just purely complacency. You are turning a blind eye to being uncomfortable in this situation and just forcing yourself to by just, making yourself feel okay temporarily. You're just letting yourself live in that. You're forcing yourself to stay here, like where you're unhappy, where you're stagnant. And you're not, the greatest motivator is getting yourself out of stagnation. If you're not happy with where you're at, use that as the drive to get you to a tangibly different place in life and continue to improve and keep making those steps forward. Because that's ultimately, you're not going to be happy if you get stuck a little bit higher. At least you are higher, but it's the continual progression that gives you purpose, that gives you drive to keep going. All right, this is going to be a quicker video, but I want to talk directly to you. If you feel stuck, if you are in this position where you have these large ambitions and these dreams that are greater than what you have now, and deep down, you are capable of getting there. You know that this is meant for you, but you feel so stuck because there's it feels so out of reach. It feels like there's nothing in your power that you can do to truly get there. So you resort to just turning it off. You resort to just doom scrolling, checking out, smoking weed, drinking, any of these kind of just distractions. There's simply distractions so that you don't have to think about the fact that you are stuck here. And you are not stuck here if you push out of that. If you can take steps to tangibly change the fact that you're in this life situation. But if you just keep every single week over and over again, just turning it off on the weekend, instead of making steps that would progress you, just, take the weekend off, fuck off, and just distract yourself so that you feel okay with where you're at. You don't feel okay with where you're at. There's no amount of distraction that's going to make you, reevaluate where you are and think, I'm cool with this now. You want to get it to this, and you're making it so that you can tolerate this. Let yourself feel that discomfort. Let yourself sit in that just disgusting feeling and let that drive you to never be in that position again. Get yourself out of it by sitting in that. Be uncomfortable with it. Recognize how shitty it is. Recognize how unhappy you are with your current situation. What are you going to do to change that? Get out of that situation. It is so, I for so long, I was stuck in that. When I was in college, I was doing a lot because I hated where I was at. I hated where I was going. And I felt so out of my power to make a change. It's just, you got to fucking flip the switch. You got to just wake yourself up to holy shit, if I don't change something, if I don't genuinely change something, I'm going to be stuck in this cycle of distraction and unhappiness and complacency forever. You are going to stay there and you're going to stay stuck. The reason I've been able to work so hard for the past 4 years, the reason I've been able to push myself for, working 7, days a week, sometimes 12-hour days, sleeping 5, 6 hours a night for weeks and weeks and months on end, years. And it's sleeping overnight in the warehouse, getting up the next day, working, 8 hours in the warehouse, sitting down after work, doing a couple hours of work on my computer, and then printing, labels for 4 hours before I go to bed, and then doing it all the next day. It is all throughout that entire process, I would just keep telling myself, I'm going to do the work. Like, no one else is going to do the work. I'm going to do the work. I am not going to let, like, the drive, the unhappiness, how deeply upset with my life and how long I distracted myself down here was the drive to never let myself be in that situation again. Every single, like, putting in the work, it should drive you insane. And that drive should be the greatest motivator to get you out of it. But you got to tap into it. You got to let it elevate you instead of just turning it off. Don't turn it off. Feel it and fucking use it to get out. I'm repeating myself and I'm rambling a little bit. That's all I really wanted to say. If you are in that situation, it is within your control. You are capable of changing your life. You are capable of having the life that you want. You just have to fucking actually do the shit over and over again. And don't, even if it's not working, even if you're trying and it's not working, keep fucking going at it. Like this, the balance, you don't want balance. You don't want to, be like, oh, this is working a little bit. I'm going to, take a little time off and do this thing that like makes me feel better. No, let yourself just sit in the bullshit. Recognize where you're at. Don't turn it off. Recognize, like, be aware of how, like, take inventory of where you're at and where you want to be and fucking, like, keep doing the things that you need to do to get there. And I really do think that making the sacrifice to not, like, take the time to, make yourself feel complacent with the level that you're at because you want to get higher, letting yourself be unhappy temporarily so that you can achieve more, I think that's the way to do it. Maybe, it's not for you, but if you know that that's what you're capable of and that's what you want, you have to do it yourself. Snap out of it. Flip the switch. That's all I have for today. See you guys tomorrow.